During the Salzburg Festival 2007, Daniel Barenboim and his West Eastern Divan Orchestra organized a lecture series which aimed to bring music closer to an especially interested audience. In the style of Oskar Kokoschka's Salzburg School of Seeing, a school for the ear was established, a meeting place where people from many kinds of artistic backgrounds can get together and reach new heights of awareness. The starting point was the active listening in order to experience sound, silence, melody, harmony, rhythm, and more.
Music inevitably requires a point of view, like the point of view of the camera that is now pointing at me. It is a very clear decision of where it's concentrating on. A musician cannot hide behind false modesty of saying, I am nothing, the work is everything. He must have a point of view, however, that is not based on a subjective, willful way of reading the music, but understanding all the information that he gets on the printed page, understanding all the different relations that are expressed in this science, and understanding the expressive means of all the elements that are at his disposal. Rhythm, melody, harmony, volume, speed, etc., etc., and etc. When we speak about music, in fact, we only speak about our reaction to it. I've really looked and I've read many, many definitions of music, and in the end, for me, there's only one that really describes music, and that is a very precise and objective definition by Ferruccio Busoni, a great Italian pianist and composer, who said, in German, Musik ist klingende Luft, sonorous air. If Busoni is right and music is sonorous air, then we have to try and look to see what this sonorous air is. I mean, is music maybe just a collection of beautiful sounds? Sound, of course, it has no meaning as such, but in the context of the music, it has a meaning. It is a meaning because all the music that has been written by the great composers has obviously a human element. In the past, Bach, Mozart, Beethoven, Verdi, Brahms, Tchaikovsky, no matter where they come from, or today Pierre Boulez and other composers, they are not only masters of harmony and counterpoint, and they also have something obviously of importance to say, otherwise they wouldn't say it, but they say it through the medium of sound. And therefore I think it's very interesting both for the musicians and for the listeners to try and spend a little time thinking, what is this element, sound, and when does it stop being a purely physical phenomenon and acquires other attributes? Where does the sound come from? I mean, I know, of course, you know, the string players put the bow on the string and they make a sound, and the woodwinds blow into the instruments and they make a sound. But what is the sound and what happens to it when it comes here? Because it obviously is not here. It wasn't here before we played it 20 minutes ago, and it's gone now. I don't know where it is, but physically has disappeared. Therefore, it is ephemeral. It doesn't stay here. That means that at some point we bring it in, physically, not metaphysically. You cannot play sounds without silence, because the first sound is what it is in relation to the silence that precedes it. And the last sound is related to the silence that follows it. So we constantly have to think about silence and use silence in different ways. Sometimes use silence to stop the music, other times use music to stop the silence, at other times the silence can create the illusion of something that is much louder than the last sound because of the intensity that came after the sound. There are many hundreds of ways of dealing with it, but one thing I'm convinced of is it's always there. Now I want to show you something else, how we can start a piece that it starts exactly, this started out of nothing, but it was immediately there, it was immediately started to become something. There are sometimes we can start a piece like the Tchaikovsky symphony we played the other day, the Pathetic Symphony, where we start and there is something that is almost between silence and sound. It is a sound, it comes out of nowhere, but it is not the thing in itself. Now it starts. Why is this here? So that we are prepared, that we are put somewhere between the silence and the sound. Otherwise, the piece could really start like this with the upbeat. Don't play the first bar. On the second bar. also possible. But when you have